Welcome to Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle, LaPorte County's original social media. Sound Off is a public interest forum that encourages your voice to be heard on the topics and issues impacting our local communities. We invite you to be part of the conversation by calling or texting 219-362-0522. You may also email your questions to soundoff at 967theeagle.com. This is a topic-based program, and we ask that you keep your comments brief, concise, and related to the topic being discussed. The views expressed on Sound Off are those of the hosts or callers and do not represent the opinion of 96.7 The Eagle, Spoon River Media, LLC, or the sponsors. The on-air line is now open for your calls or texts at 219-362-0522. And now, Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
And a pleasant good Monday afternoon. Welcome to Sound Off. I'm Stan Maddox. Our guest today is Township School Superintendent Dr. Pamela Moore. So give us a call if you have a question. Give us a call or send us a text message, 362-0522. Dr. Moore, as always, welcome to Sound Off.
Thank you. Appreciate being here on this beautiful sunny day.
Boy, that time of year, a lot of schools have already had their graduation ceremonies. I'm sure there's a couple ceremonies coming up to finish the school year. I understand you guys had your ceremony Friday night.
Yes, it was beautiful. Always great to see our seniors off and celebrate all their accomplishments. You know, we had our graduation Friday night, but we also celebrated our youngest friends as well. We had a preschool graduation this year. Just a lot of celebrating.
Wow. How many students in the class of 2025?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're proud of our small, school district and our small class sizes, and we were able to graduate 25 students this year.
Okay. Was there one particular message that was delivered during the graduation ceremony for the seniors?
Yeah, I think just overcoming challenges and being inspired by, adults throughout the time that they've been at Township and continuing to inspire others in their future. We have a unique group of kids, and every kid is special in their own way, and we're just excited for the opportunities that they have now, past high school.
Okay, and of course, the baseball season's still ongoing. You guys had a big win and are playing again today, right? Still live in the postseason.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of big games happening right now. Tis the season for baseball. So we're proud of our athletics and, want to recognize all of our teams. And we do have some upcoming big opportunities as well, not just for baseball, but for basketball. I'm not sure, how many people know about this big game we have coming up in June here, June 17th. Our girls are going to be able to play Rising Sun at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. That's a pretty big deal for a high school student to be able to say that they play, in the same space as many of our professional basketball players. So our families and community had the opportunity to purchase tickets to attend a game in the afternoon beginning at 2 o'clock Central Time for our girls, and then also be able to stay and watch the game. It's the Fever game, and the Fever game is they're playing Connecticut Sun. So it's pretty unique that, we were invited to play and attend a game. And hopefully Caitlin will be at her best. I know she's out right now with an injury, but we're hoping to see her there.
Wow, that's pretty big. Caitlin Clark, of course, a member of the Indiana Fever. Biggest thing since sliced bread, I guess you could say, in women's professional basketball. So the team's going to be playing Rising Sun. Is that a team in the WNBA?
So Rising Sun is actually a high school in southern Indiana, and that probably isn't a well-known school up north. But again, just excited that we're what an opportunity to bring two teams together, one from the north, one from the south, and gather together, in Indy and play again in the same space as, the professional basketball players. And I think it's great how, Caitlin has really served as a role model to our girls. And I think that's, what the purpose is of this big game, is to make sure that we are, recognizing our female athletes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. They'll get to play high school basketball in the same stadium the Indiana Fever plays on, and then watch together. Are they going to be able to meet Caitlin Clark and some of the other players?
I'm hopeful. I definitely think that's an opportunity for them to connect and be inspired to potentially pursue a basketball career, or just appreciate the love of the sport.
And that's June the 17th. That's
and it's sold out, so sorry that I can't advertise tickets, but...
Yeah, how did that come about?
We have our wonderful athletic director, Coach Snodgrass. He serves as a coach, serves as our athletic director. He has some connections, with other school districts, and he, alongside, our girls basketball coach, Christian Porter, together, made this happen for our girls, and I just think that's amazing.
Wow, I wonder how the girls reacted when they found out.
It really does seem unbelievable. Maybe a dream come true for some of them. I know it's even hard to obtain tickets right now. So I just think that's really special. And that the Pacers Fever, I know they do a lot of work. I know they're in the same space, but for our youth in our state. And so I think that's great that the professional athletes are giving back to both girls and boys.
All right. So mark that on your calendar, June the 17th. That's great. You have a lot of other successes to talk about. I understand your robotics team went to the World Championships. That was in Houston, right?
Actually, it was in Dallas, but yes, all the way in Texas. So it's a big deal for the world competition, and we feel very fortunate to have had a team qualify. First, just making it to state is a huge deal. So they competed in Indianapolis area for the state competition, and then they did well enough that they were able to move on to the world competition. And just making it is quite an honor, but they did well while they were there. They ended up placing 6th in their division and 21st overall. So we were just thrilled, with their hard work during the season. It was great to celebrate them, when they returned. But we're just so proud, of that program and the other program that I feel really partners that one, which is our drone team. They don't have a state competition or a world competition. So their equivalent competition would be a regional competition that was in Flint, Michigan. And they also did really well. Our middle school team was first in that competition. So just proud, again, even our middle and high school teams both made it to that regional competition. So again, we're a small school district, but, we are able to have students perform at a really high level, academically, but also in our extracurriculars, our sports, and just proud that we can be, at the same level, as, other school districts.
Yeah, I guess good things come in small sizes, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So the middle school robotics team finished first in the regionals. How did the high school team finish?
So that was our drone team, actually. That they finished first in Flint, Michigan for the regional competition. I don't recall the exact place that our high school team placed, but they also did well. Just that securing that first place spot was just something really unique that I wanted to make sure we recognized.
Yeah. Then the robotics team, 21st overall. World competitions. So you're seeing kids from other countries.
Yeah, and it was great for our students to interact, with other students from around the world. I know that was really special, and to learn from each other, but then to be united by the same interest and passion, for robotics.
Wow. Yeah, I know the drone program just started this past school year, right? And is the robotics a little bit of an older program, or is that totally brand new?
So the robotics program is just a couple of years old. I think that, just wanting to continue to grow, I always say we keep going and we keep growing. And I think we show evidence of that at Township, that, we saw a program was successful, and, with the right, dedication from staff, from students, from families, we want to continue to pursue new opportunities and make sure that, kids stay interested and engaged throughout their schooling. We know that some students do love to learn, but there's also students that, want to come to Township because of some of the unique opportunities that we have. And if you don't mind, I am excited to share that, we do have something unique that we recently received. We recently were awarded. We're one of the 4 high schools that were chosen. It's called PCAP. It's Pathways to Careers and Post-Secondary, and it's part of the University of Indianapolis CEL program. It's a grant that was funded. And so, again, that's something we saw. We wanted to pursue, school leadership and staff, and just making sure that, we are pursuing opportunities, because that's all about the PCAP program is hands-on learning, project-based learning, connecting with our community partners, CTE pathways. We know that's really in demand right now. And so, again, just wanting to show, we're committed to our students and making sure they have all the opportunities that we can provide them.
Wow. So being one of 4 school corporations to get a grant, I guess that says something, right?
Yeah, I think it just shows that we're continuing to pursue these opportunities. Just excited, too, that the state and various universities recognize us, as a place that, can grow and that they can provide new opportunities to. So we're just excited to partner with them for this upcoming school year. And it's a 3-year commitment. So we're going to be in the planning phase this next year, and then continue to grow that program along with the help of CEL and the University of Indianapolis.
Great. Fantastic. When you say pathways to careers, does that cover everything from A to Z, or is it vocational? Is it college related? Or
Yeah, so what we try to do is look at student interests. So, we don't want to just focus on one particular area, but it primarily is about, focusing for looking at jobs, more career focus versus college focus. So the purpose of this grant, too, is to make sure that some students who are not engaged in schooling, so looking at students who sometimes struggle, to maybe earn the grade or grade point average that maybe other students are, in attendance issues. And so this really helps students be re-engaged with learning and be excited about learning, and see that there are multiple opportunities beyond high school, and that it's okay if they don't want to pursue maybe the traditional, thought, I would say, from my time in schooling of, everyone should go to college. I think we see that there are many choices out there based on, unique needs of students. And we're seeing the salaries. I mean, I would say now you can look at having these, areas of expertise in different areas like trades. And, it isn't just about obtaining a degree. You can earn a living in many different areas.
Yeah, I saw a news report over the weekend where a good percentage of students who were in white-collar positions are now getting jobs in the trades.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, that's, it's, again, I think sometimes not even knowing the opportunities out there. And I think that's the biggest concern for me, is making sure that students are able to explore the possibilities before graduating from high school and then trying to explore and figure out what they want to do. We want to be able to provide, that information and have that support with staff, and help guide students to make sure they are really interested in what they want to do for the rest of their lives.
Okay, great. So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach anymore.
No, and I think that in a small school district like ours, that's what makes us really unique, too, is making sure that we are getting to know every individual student. You aren't just a number or, just a face in the crowd. It's absolutely personalized, and where we want to make sure that we are meeting all students' needs.
Okay, great. Well, I'll tell you what, we got to take a quick commercial break. Stay with us here on Sound Off.
Hello, this is Dale Nowes with Cutler Funeral Home and Cremation Center. Caring friends are always available when you need them the most. At Cutler Funeral Home and Cremation Center, we make available caring, compassionate grief counseling before, during, and long after you have experienced the loss of a loved one. Whether your funeral arrangements were with us or another funeral home, Caring Voices is a service that will connect you with master-level counselors anytime you need a listening ear. Allow us to help you and those around you to start on a pathway to healing. Don't suffer alone during your time of loss. Comfort and understanding flow through Caring Voices, provided exclusively at no expense to you by Cutlers. Call us at 219-362-2828. That's 219-362-2828. Or stop by to find out more about Caring Voices.
Life doesn't stop at Brentwood at LaPorte. It thrives. Imagine a place where vibrant lifestyles meet compassionate care. At Brentwood at LaPorte, our residents enjoy engaging activities, new friendships, and the freedom to live fully, all while receiving the personalized support they need. Whether it's memory care or assisted living, we're here to make every day meaningful. From gardening to game nights, delicious meals to cozy spaces, Brentwood at LaPorte is where life blossoms. Discover a community that feels like home. Call Brentwood at LaPorte today or visit us online to schedule your tour. Because at Brentwood at LaPorte, life begins anew.
Do I really need to remind you guys what's coming up on the Tuesday edition of the Morning Mayhem? Well, if you're new to the program, here's how it goes. I start the show off at 5 a.m. following Stan Maddox in your local news. Stan's got news throughout the day. Wade Mahar's our meteorologist. He's got your forecast throughout the day. And, of course, it's being Tuesday, LaPorte City Mayor Tom Dermody will join us to play the game Stump the Mayor at 6:30. Tuesday edition of the Mayhem. Tune in, won't you? Right here at 96.7 The Eagle. Look at all the things I've collected over the years in here, Dave.
Why, Dad?
So you'll have many things to remember me by, and, I'm sure you can use it all someday.
But, Dad, I can't use all these things.
Yep, and just think, it's all yours someday.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Dad. Is that a bumper I see buried with this stuff?
Oh, hey, yeah, I believe it's your mom's 1976 Pinto. And again, it's going to be yours someday.
Do you have things you don't need or want anymore? Are you tired of seeing things that you thought was a good idea to buy and then turn around and put it away in some corner of your garage? Well, you're in luck. At 96.7 The Eagle, we can help by reading your garage, rummage, estate, or yard sale during Tradio. All you need to do is visit hometownnewsnow.com, click on the Submit tab, and fill out the form, and we'll contact you for the payment. It's that simple. Of course, we do accept debit and credit cards for payment. So listen weekdays at 9:45 for your sale to be read live on 96.7 The Eagle, and check out the listings at hometownnewsnow.com.
This look at the forecast at 96.7 Eagle brought to you by Harmon Expert Auto Service. Looking for reliable and professional auto repair services? Visit HarmonExpertAuto.com, stop by 308 Washington Street, or call 325-0444 to schedule your appointment today.
Michiana weather.
High of 82 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy skies again tonight, lows around 61. From the Weather Center at HometownNewsNow.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 79 degrees.
Thank you for tuning in to Sound Off. You can now text or email your questions directly to the studio. Call or text 362-0522 or email your questions to soundoff@967theeagle.com. This is Sound Off.
And welcome back to Sound Off on this Monday afternoon. Stan Maddox here. Our guest today, once again, Township School Superintendent Dr. Pamela Moore. Give us a text message or a phone call. That number one more time, 362-0522. So it's as simple as that, 362-0522. Well, it's that time of year, summertime. What does a typical school administration or your school administration going to do during the summer? I guess plan for the next school year, right? Or deal with some things that were just recently passed by the state legislature?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I do know some people think, we're out for the summer too, but you're right. The work doesn't stop. It's an exciting time to get a lot accomplished. We do have a lot of projects going on. So, I'll start with that. We are very proud of, maybe you've seen it, our new school sign. We have a huge school sign that is lit up at night on 421. So if you haven't been by, it is beautiful. So we're very proud of that, making sure everyone knows where Township Schools is. We also, obtained some new cafeteria furniture that was very exciting for us. The summer projects, we have some. Let's see, we're getting boilers. That's very exciting at our Wanata campus. We're getting a new school bus, but we have some projects that are going to be completed over at the Tiger Den, which is in La Crosse. We worked on the entryway to the Tiger Den, which is nice and modern now. We're looking to transform what used to be cafeteria into like a Hall of Fame space, so we can make sure that we're, showing off all of the amazing accomplishments that we, our students have earned. So that'll be really nice for the community, not just current students, but also students from the past. So it'll be nice when, our community comes in and enjoys a game in the Tiger Den. We'd love for them to go through the Hall of Fame and go down memory lane and celebrate some of those accomplishments that they've earned. Also, we're going to be transforming our concession space. So just really trying to make, that space really nice for the community to come together, enjoy current games, but also just, again, recognize all the accomplishments from the past. We have a lot of projects, but also we have summer school going on, making sure that we're supporting, all the way to our youngest learners, making sure we're, providing those learning opportunities throughout the summer. So we have that going on. And of course, we're planning and preparing for the fall. We have some new hires and some changes. We are going to be adding an elementary principal to Township. Right now, our current principal is pre-K to 12, but we wanted to divide that up and make sure that we're, giving full attention to each of our school buildings, elementary and junior, senior high school. So that's very exciting. We're looking to add an IT specialist, making sure we're supporting, technology, STEM, supporting our staff, our students. So those are some exciting positions that we are adding. But we stay busy throughout the summer and just make sure that we're getting ready for the fall and welcoming back our students.
All right. So I know you had talked about earlier on Sound Off, earlier in the school year, about 75th anniversary of the Tiger Den. Has a celebration been scheduled yet?
Yeah, and that's why we're actually working on many of the renovations I spoke about, with the entryway and having that Hall of Fame ready and the concessions, and we want to be ready for that big celebration. And so that's why we moved things back a little bit, and so we plan on doing that, moving right into the new year. So look out for that invitation, and I'll make sure I'm back on and share all that information so that we make sure that everyone in the community who wants to be part of that big celebration can be there to attend.
Yeah, but that'll be exciting. That's for sure. Of course, the Tiger Den, a lot of history there. The old school building, of course, you guys moved out of that building a couple of years ago. I understand the building is going to be donated. The school building is going to be donated. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we, have heard from a group, the Schoolhouse Group is a community group who really wants to make sure that that building can be utilized for many different purposes. Not wanting to, take anything away from what we're doing at Township, but wanting to just add more, to the community. And so just excited that, they've continued to be in conversation with us about some of their ideas. And so, we feel that, it would be, great to partner together. And so we're in full support of the building, being utilized by that group. And they're preparing. So there'll be more information coming soon, but we do want to give that building to the Schoolhouse Group. They've just done a lot of good planning and preparation. So we're excited that the La Crosse community, will benefit from that space and hopefully something for everyone.
Is that the name of the group, the Schoolhouse Group?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah. What do they plan to use the building for?
Yeah, they have various ideas. I think right now they're exploring, cost and, partnerships. There's a lot of planning and preparing that goes into, potentially utilizing a school building for different purposes. So there's been, conversations about, Meals on Wheels, potential, tutoring. They have various ideas, and I think they're just trying to settle on, what the community wants and needs, and just making sure they can provide that.
Okay, so I suppose they'll be seeking some input from the community, right?
Absolutely. And I know that many of the members of that group, are from the community. And so that's what we, feel is really great, is that we already feel there's representation there. And we just want to be part of that. As Tri-Township Schools, we want to make sure that we're supporting not only, our Wanata, families, but also our La Crosse families as well.
All right. I guess there's a long future ahead for the old schoolhouse building. That's over a century old, isn't it?
It is, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's one of those just beautiful historic buildings, and, I'm excited to see, the renovations that will be done, that the building will continue to be cared for and loved. I know that is really important, to our community.
Okay. I understand you had a little celebration for some of the school personnel. Tell us more about that.
Sure. It was the first time really that, first I want to start with, we celebrate a lot of students. We have a lot of celebrations. We have, academic, awards nights. We have athletic awards nights. We have classroom awards that we give out. So there's a lot of celebrating students. And that, of course, is of utmost importance to us. But we also want to recognize the people who, make that happen. And so we had, for the first time ever, we celebrated staff and recognized their years of service we had a nice breakfast, and everyone came together and gave out certificates and pins with years of experience. And it's really moving to see the commitment that many of our staff, and I would say not just our staff, but even our board members for Tri-Township Schools. I think the listeners will be impressed to hear that we have a board member, our current board president, who has served for 26 years. That is amazing. And our food service director, she has the most years of experience, 35 years. So staff who have really dedicated their lives, to our school district, to our students, to our community. It's amazing, and they deserve to be recognized.
Yeah, a lot of dedication, commitment, whatever word you want to choose, it's all there.
Yeah, we're very lucky at Tri-Township Schools to have such an amazing staff. And really that's something I think that a lot of people are looking for, is making sure, as I've already, shared, that just staff, looking out for our students and recognizing their individual needs, just making sure every student feels seen and heard by our adults. And so, our staff is truly amazing. We've had some students, I know it's been a while since I've talked about, we had started an online school, and we had some students who were homeschooled that decided they wanted to try a traditional school through online, and then now are coming in person. And so it just says a lot that, we see this transition of, families feel comfortable, sending their children to our school district, because it's truly a family feel. And, that can be hard to find nowadays. And so, there is a lot to be said for a small school district like ours. So, if you're someone that's, maybe looking for a change, I would welcome you to, reach out to us and, set up a tour. I'd be happy to show you around and talk to you and answer your questions. But we feel, very strongly that Tri-Township is an amazing place to be.
All right. Can't argue with some of your successes, like with the robotics and the drone students. I mean, they're racking up, high finishes in the regionals and even the world competition. So that's great. I'll tell you what, let's take another commercial break. Stay with us here on Sound Out.
They say home is where the heart is, but let's be honest, it's also where the fastest Wi-Fi is. That's why we love Surf Internet's 2 gig fiber fast service. Streaming multiple devices or just working from home, it just works for us. No stress, no glitches, no drama. Just fast local service that made cutting the cord an easy switch for our family. Want to love your internet again? Contact Surf Internet today. From Zoom calls to movie nights, Surf's got you covered. Visit surfinternet.com to get started.
Want a mower that's tough enough to break all the rules? Want everything without sacrificing anything? Want performance for the long haul at an unbeatable value? The perfect balance of power and performance? A Bad Boy mower. Packed with power, muscle, simplicity, and comfort the pro in you demands. It's that time of year. It's your time. You deserve a Bad Boy. You can visit your local authorized Bad Boy dealer, K-Tool and Fire, at 2104 Ohio Street in LaPorte. Mow with an attitude. Dirks Bentley is coming to Credit Union 1 Amphitheater at Tinley Park in Chicago June 14th, and people are going to be digging deep to try and find tickets. Funny we mentioned digging. 96.7 The Eagle has last chance tickets to see Dirks Bentley, and all you have to do is go digging through our website. All this week, we'll hide a Digging for Dirks registration button somewhere at 967theeagle.com or on our social media pages. Then, after 7 a.m., Dennis Siddell will announce on the Morning Mayhem where the registration button is to help you out. We'll even remind you in the afternoon after 3 with Irish Mike. Then click the button, fill out the form, and you could be headed to see Dirks Bentley at Tinley Park on June 14th. Listen daily to the Morning Mayhem after 7 and to Irish Mike after 3 to tell you where on the website to start digging for Dirks tickets. Only at 967theeagle.com.
The LaPorte County Government Offices invites the community to attend their annual food truck event, Thursday, June 12th from 11 a.m. to 2:30 at the courthouse in Michigan City, and Friday, June 13th from 11 to 2:30 at the courthouse in LaPorte. Stop by and enjoy some food from some of your favorite local food trucks.
Looking for a hard-to-find item you can't find in the stores? Maybe you'd like to sell a few items you no longer use or need. Maybe you're looking for help around the house or yard. Tradio is the answer. Every weekday following your 9 a.m. news for Tradio on 96.7 The Eagle. It's your time to call 362-0522 to buy, sell, and trade just about anything, even those hard-to-find items. Join us for Tradio, weekdays from 9:06 a.m. until 10 on 96.7 The Eagle.
We're waiting to hear from you. Dial or text 362-0522 and let us know what you think. That's 362-0522. Back to Sound Off on 96.7 The Eagle.
And welcome back to Sound Off on this Monday. Again, our guest is Tri-Township School Superintendent Dr. Pamela Moore, 362-0522. You're wrapping up your first year, Pamela, as superintendent at Tri-Township. Of course, prior to that, you were a principal at Rolling Prairie Elementary. You were the first female superintendent at Tri-Township. How has the year gone for you?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I'm excited to wrap up the first year. Honestly, it flew by. It feels like it's been a month. I can't believe it's been a year. And I think the year was really successful. I would say for me, I feel from the moment I walked in the door, I felt like I was being welcomed by family, felt right at home. I feel staff really have the best intentions, and that means a lot to me. I feel that staff, put kids first in everything. So I feel, the environment has been just really wonderful to be a part of. So I'm just so excited for our future, and feel that, I feel we're off to a great start. I'm really a proud leader of Tri-Township.
All right. So that might be the biggest thing, is getting that first year out of the way, right? It's time to coast now, right?
Yes. And even though, sometimes, things can be thrown in your way, like legislation. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like there weren't some obstacles. But, I do think that we did a great job reminding our state, reminding our community that Tri-Township is excelling and, deserves to be, recognized and around for a long, long time. So again, I just think focusing on the positive and all the great things happening at Tri-Township is really important.
All right. Boy, are you expecting any impacts from what's happening in Washington, D.C.? Do you think that's going to maybe have some type of impact locally?
Yeah, I think that both, federal and state, what's been happening, is going to impact every single school district. I think that, education, in the next 10 years is probably going to look a little bit different. I know the emphasis is on, being efficient. There's always a saying, you need to do more with less. And, I know that's impacting not only schools, but, local government as well. So, we do need to be creative, and we do need to focus focus on what's most important. And for me, that's always, what is closest to, our students. And so that's where you have to find people who are willing to look for opportunities to continue to enhance and promote some of our, our biggest needs and wants, such as, pursuing, becoming a PCAP school. So you need to continue to work together and focus on, what's important. And I feel like our staff, it comes together and we make sure that good things continue to happen for kids, no matter what those changes may be at, the federal and state level. We will make sure our kids continue to be given what they need and what they want.
Okay. I understand work is nearly finished on the new track at the high school, huh?
Yeah, our track is just about finished. We're getting ready to, put those stripes on and, get that grass growing where the work was done. So it'll be nice moving into the fall. Unfortunately, we need a little bit of time for that grass to grow. But that also is the potential new space for soccer. We hope to grow a program, probably starting with some clubs, and then growing that into our school. And so we're just excited to offer that not only during the school day for student use and staff use, but also for our community. We hope to see some of our community members walking, around the track, running. I mean, I can't wait to run around that track. So I will definitely be there. But it's just nice use of space and excited for our community to use it as well.
Great. Sounds exciting. Other new things. I understand esports is another new venture for Township.
Yeah, we recently had in the spring here a call out to see, what interest there is from our students, our high school students, looking at our middle school students as well, just the games they're interested in. And, I know that some people who may not be familiar with esports look at it as, kids playing video games. And, I think Michigan City is a great example of they just had a student involved in their esports team sign with a university to play. So just it shows that this is something that is really serious and can continue with a student beyond high school. So again, we're just trying to find different, opportunities for our kids. Some students are really into, robotics and drones, or maybe athletics and, track and baseball. But some students are excited about, digital technology and this can be a space, gaming, cyber technology. I mean, I can go on and on about all the different, potential careers that can come from engaging in esports. So just a way for kids to have something to be excited about when they come to school and something maybe to look forward to beyond high school.
All right. So you're planning on having a esports season beginning in the fall maybe, or?
Yes, that is the goal, to start in the fall. And that's when really the season starts. So, we're excited about giving this a try and, just really want to see, how our kids, how they do this first season. So we're very excited, want everyone to give it a try, and encourage anyone to come to those call out meetings in the fall.
Okay, great. School corporations each and every year seem to do some strategic planning. I understand you guys have done strategic planning. Anything you plan to debut as a result of that strategic planning come fall time?
Yeah, it was great to, I reached out to see, what families wanted to be involved, community members, staff participation, and also the number one voice we want to hear are students. And so, gathered various groups to come together, and really common themes emerged as part of that. So we really came up with 5 goals. And so, wanting to, from there, now that we have a plan of areas that we want to focus on, it's what happens next. And that's what I plan to work on here in the fall, is breaking down our goals. Some of the goals like expanding student opportunities. So again, we're already planning for some of those things, like with esports and bowling, which I haven't talked about yet. But
you got a bowling team, huh?
Yep. And so we're going to start a team, and again, just another opportunity for kids to be involved. And then, like I said earlier, the PCAP school, again, what are these opportunities that we're providing? contributing. So we're already working on some of these different areas, but, wanting to make sure we are setting a timeline, checking in on our progress toward these goals, and making sure that everyone's contributing. So I will be excited to make sure that, we talk about these goals. I'm excited to come back and give you some updates. Another one is enhancing student learning and achievement, strengthen school community and culture. So just some various areas that we're really excited about focusing and giving our full attention on, and just working together to make sure, as I've shared earlier, it's one of my phrases, keep going and keep growing. I mean, that's an emphasis. We want to keep growing as a school district.
All right. Exciting stuff. You guys are busy.
We are so busy in the best way.
All right. Well, it certainly sounds like it, that's for sure. So the bowling team, that'll start in the fall too?
Yeah, that's our hope. So again, providing some new opportunities. So maybe some families who are looking for, that school district that has, esports, bowling. Again, kids want to be excited, about coming to school. And that does go beyond academics. We, of course, first and foremost, we care about our kids learning, but we also want to enrich our students and give them opportunities, both during the school day and beyond the school day. And some of these activities, such as bowling, are things that you can carry into your adult life. And so to be able to, teach students, some students say, well, I've never picked up a bowling ball. Well, great. I mean, give it a chance and we'll help you, learn how to do that. And so, just wanting to prepare our students, again, not just for their time with us, but beyond high school.
All right. There's a first time for everything. That's for sure. All right. About 30 seconds left in the program. I'll let you have the final remarks.
Well, I just want to, acknowledge that, Tri-Township Schools, the community that we are in, I just appreciate, again, not just the school staff, but the community. You're reaching out to offer support, if that's through, donations, if that's through their time, our families. I mean, they're committed to us. Being a small school district, it takes a village, to make sure that we are successful in meeting our kids where they're at. And so I just want to give a big thank you that we couldn't do it without all of you. So again, very proud to be part of Tri-Township and the community, and thank you to everyone beyond even our school building.
All right. Well, thanks to you for coming in Sound Off once again today. And as always, we look forward to your next visit.
Can't wait. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Dr. Pamela Moore from Tri-Township Schools has been our guest on Sound Off today. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you Friday. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us and voicing your opinion on this edition of Sound Off. The views expressed on Sound Off are those of the host or callers and do not represent the opinion of 96.7 The Eagle, Spoon River Media, LLC, or the sponsors. Sound Off airs live every Monday and Friday, immediately following Update 12 News, and is available online after the show is over under the podcast menu at hometownnewsnow.com. Mark your calendar and join us again for the next edition of Sound Off, right here on 96.7 The Eagle.